all right. It is episode 4. Sorry, I got chips in my mouth. Of the Love Lounge. As you know, I got my drink in my hand. Um, and I am ready for this show to start. It's international break, and I have the lovely guest. It seems like it's girl power this week.
Yes,
To
that's
my
what we like.
to my ladies, we have to my right we have Kirst, who just finished a wonderful show. How are you feeling, Kirst, this international break?
Hey, first I want to say thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure. This international break, I can't wait for it to be over. What an absolute rubbish. Because I can say the S word as it's not been 10 minutes yet.
About
Um,
10 minutes.
yeah, what an absolute rubbish show we've had. Not England, just our players. We're literally getting knocked off 1v1. What is
Yeah,
happening?
it's um, it's what some people feared.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not good, but it's gonna bring some opportunities, some good opportunities that I would like to see. So um, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I was a little bit worried because someone said Kane got hurt because I didn't see the game. I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I was streaming when the game was on, and someone popped up said that Kane had got like an injury, and I was like, oh my god, please don't be a serious one, because that's literally the last thing we need, especially with Son and Skip injured as well.
yeah, yeah. I just we can't afford any more injuries right
No,
now.
absolutely.
And so I have my lovely sister on the bottom of the screen, the Hammer, because she drives her point home. Miss Shan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not bad. Obviously, watched the England game. Kyle Walker had a bit of a brain fart, and we literally can't have nice things. When you support Spurs and you support England, you can't have nice things. So I've got the gin.
Yeah. And
So
Curse has
yeah,
her drink behind the screen.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got a cup of tea.
Okay, that
It's been
works.
a long day for me.
That works. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, wanted to start off because it wasn't all doom and gloom. It's fun because we're top of the leaderboard and, and we're talking about gloom. It was a special holiday, special birthday on Sunday, and I am going to get us in the festive mode. Give me a
Yes.
second here. A little festive mode here. All right. Here we go. Toast. Toast Spurs. All right. A toast to Spurs. I call it um, Spurs toast and state of address for the team. Right now, we're top of the Premier League, and Arsenal's at the bottom of the league. As Chris has mentioned, we have a couple of knickknacks going on, and we
Mm.
have a controversy that we're going to talk about next. But, but, what is your state of address for the team right now? Because, like I said, we're on top. We're on top. Okay,
Mhm.
we don't have as much depth as some other teams, but there's still some things that we can address that are good. And so I throw it out to Shan first. What is your state of address of Spurs right now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's been a bit of a disappointing international break with obviously the Argentines just swanning off and then not even being able to play. Obviously, Sonny getting injured, but from what I've seen, it was minor and he should be okay. Fingers crossed. Obviously, Bergvine had his ankle strapped in ice, but I've not heard anything else after that. So hopefully that was just precautionary. Obviously, Skippy's out for 2 to 4 weeks, which is a big blow. But
Yeah.
cometh the hour, cometh the man. Harry Winks or Tanguy and Ndombele are going to have to step up, and they've got big boots to fill. So fingers crossed. I think we'll be all right. I think obviously it's always going to be a bit of a bummer when you've got sort of 2 first teamers stuck out and Sanchez as well. Obviously Sanchez out in Croatia as well, isolated. Well, not isolating, but trying to get out of the government hotel fast. But yeah, I mean, looking at who we've got available, the first 11 we can field for Palace isn't horrendous. So I'm confident we can go there and get the 3 points.
Okay. Okay. We have Mr. Bob in the house, in the hizzy. And of course, we always have the Bob Spur question of the week at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a double doozy. We got a double
We have got a
doozy.
double doozy. I'm a bit disappointed you're just going for the double, mate. I did send you quite a few through, but we won't go into that. We won't go into that.
I don't know if people can be able to handle those questions. Man, spread it out. You just come on, and right now we are giving a toast to Spurs because it's happy birthday Sunday. But we're giving a state of address. We know there's some ups and there's some possible downs coming in. Death. But state of address. It's not all that bad, but there might be some things on the horizon. What is your state of address of Spurs, Bob?
My state of dress at the moment is the dressing gown I've got on. I've been a bit, a bit poorly last couple of days. I've got literally a month, or not a month, just over a month from operation. So they're doing all sorts of tests on me at the moment. That's probably why I've been a bit quiet. So, but I'm here now. I'm feeling loads better. I'm not drinking because I'm antibiotics, but it's that's why I've come on. State of address. I think the transfer window could have been better, but it wasn't. But in Nuno we trust, and let's see how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, totally agree. Kirst, your state of address of the team right now?
Well, just going on what Shan said, like obviously we have got some of the main players injured, which is a big concern, but hopefully, like she said as well, will just be minor. I'm not really as confident as I was last week thinking of the Palace game. Literally last week I was like, oh yeah, we'll go to it, finish 2-0, have a clean sheet, get them 3 points. But now that we've got the likes of Son, who's potentially not playing, and obviously Skip's not going to be there as well, I'm a bit nervous for it. I'm hoping that, obviously being typical Spurs, we don't kind of spiral and just go on like a really bad streak. Like I'm hoping that we can keep that consistency going with what we've been achieving so far. And obviously, hopefully, Tanguy will be fit enough to play. He'll be able to help us out. Or I'm not gonna hold my breath with Winks. But yeah, that's where I'm at the minute. I'm gonna be.
If it comes to a choice between Ndombele and Winks, I'd pick Winks over Ndombele any day. Especially, you can't waltz into the team just because with his attitude, with his lack of commitment, with his lack of fight. I don't see why we should be begging Ndombele coming to that first team. If it means between them two, it's Winks for me 100%. The only way Ndombele starts is if Nuno trusts him. And if Nuno trusts him, then obviously we've seen something in training or something. But there's no way I'm going to sit here and say I'd put in Ndombele. I don't understand. I'm not understanding the whole clamour for the Ndombele. A week ago we were saying, get yourself together or piss off out the club. No, it's not going to change within the week. So the whole clamour for Ndombele just because he's got a few more few injuries, I don't get it. He's still lacking commitment. He's still not showing any fight. He doesn't want to play football in my eyes. Never mind play football for Tottenham Hotspur. So no, mate, get yourself sorted. If you've got yourself sorted, Nuno will put you in. If not, piss off. We'll put Winks in. I'll put Noel John in ahead of him.
Man, there's some burned bridges there. Trust. Wow. I actually saw someone post up on Twitter. They said now John, and I was just like, and
100%.
I will say this with our club right now. Our state of address, like I said, we're on top, but a lot of people are gonna have to step up. A lot of people are gonna have to step up. And we kind of knew this. We're kind of thin at some positions. Winks, as much as we make fun of him, he's got to step up. The Brian Hills, they're gonna have to step up. You know, a couple people are gonna have to step up, and it's almost to the point of saying the future is now. And so, yeah, so that's the state of address for the team. I want to introduce a couple people. Jamie's in the house. Big up, Mari. Talking Tottenham TV.
Jamie.
Please support the brother. Please support him. He has an awesome show. I'm gonna get on his show with Miss Pass because I'm coming home from work, but I'm gonna try to see a way. Even if I'm driving, I can get on his show. Support him. We got he says big up, Sweaty Cockerel. Got Shan on the show. What a coup! Oh man, it is. Yeah, it's definitely a blessing to get Shan. The hammer, as I call him, because she brings the point home, drives the point home, and yeah, thank you, Sweaty, for the love, and thank you. Mark says, so love to the Love Lounge and hit that like and subscribe, please hit the like and subscribe, and also tell your friends, support the shows. What I love about our community, since we're celebrating Spurs' birthday, is we have a diverse set of shows. You know, you have Bob's show. You can't get what you get on Bob's show anywhere else. The Cheese Room, totally different. You cannot get what the caller or Shan is doing on that show. And I know Shan's gonna have some other expansion projects because she's that good. Curse, who has been expanding, support her. Support the ladies. Her, Jody, and Iggy. Oh my goodness. Awesome, support them. So got a diverse set of shows, and so yeah. Chris is in the house. He says hi everyone. Hi Chris.
Big up, Chris.
Couple of people say big up Shan. Mark says the same thing. Bob says Mari started. You heard those already.
Yeah, you said I'm coming in 2 minutes before. So, I thought we started early.
Yeah. Shot myself in the foot there. Ederson is in the house. Thank you for the support. Kane's goal was PT tonight for us. That was a beautiful goal. Let's get that on Saturday. That is nasty. Thank you for the love, Edward. That Spurs episode. Hey, Mari, Coys, come on, you Spurs. Couple of opinions here. If it's a choice between Ndombele and Winks, Ndombele could come out and take a nap on the halfway line for 90 minutes, and I'll still take Ndombele.
Big up, Scott.
I differ my views, and to compare those two, I'll still have a sulky Ndombele in the squad than 40 Winks. Okay.
Big up.
Okay.
Big up, Edwardson.
At least Ndombele has pure skill and deserves to be a professional football player. Winksy, a League Two football player. Ooh, I wouldn't say that much. Ooh, that's a little ouch. And everyone's giving love to Curse also. All right, so let's get to our next subject. Bob, do not worry with this song. One of my good friends is one of the big corporate lawyers in the whole wide world. He's an international corporate lawyer, and he has told me instrumentals.
Instrumental's fine. Yeah.
It's fine. I told him, what about this song? He says, honestly, no one's gonna bark you up the tree. But he says, stick to instrumentals. So I'm gonna break the rule on this one, and is our next subject. If you look at the bottom of the screen, it's a little preview. Here we go.
Oh, no.
What you want,
And the app.
What you gonna do when Sherry John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do? Yeah, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
All right. The Bad Boys. Boy, Tottenham's always making noise, right? I mean, that's one of our songs. The Tottenham Boys. And
What a track, man! What a track!
oh my goodness. What the hell is going on? And I'm a little bit discouraged because I expect Romero to I expect him to be a leader. We're definitely expecting big things for Lo Celso. But this is not what we've been looking for. And I'm still confused. Were they given permission to go or not go? I will start with Curse. Bad Boys. Lo Celso.
Yeah,
Romero.
the
What's up
definite.
with this?
I know. In my opinion, I think that they should have done it, but I'm really confused as to, do you know, because the when if they didn't go, would that have affected their chances of playing in like other international games? Do you think?
Oh, man.
Because I'm
No,
not sure. No, do you not think? Because I wasn't sure if they kind of was told that they had to go. Like, I'm not sure how it all
no.
works when it comes.
What it was, they were called up by Argentina. Spurs go, you're not going
Yeah,
with our consent.
yeah,
But we can't keep you in prison. You're adult enough to make your own decisions, but we're not happy about you going. They're
yeah,
like, fine, we'll go then. You know, you're talking of bad boys. There's so I'll let Chris finish that.
yeah. I think
Yeah, but they,
Romero, I don't really know much about him to judge his character, but from Celso, to be honest, it doesn't really shock me what he's done because he had that fanatic at Christmas, didn't he? When everyone should be Italy and he had that party. So I kind of think I'm a bit disappointed in the sense that really he should have known better. But obviously, I'm not sure what his like take on it would have been with it being an international squad. But yeah, definitely, I think they should. I'm sure they're getting a fine from the club. Is it the club that they'll be getting a fine from? But in my opinion, I don't think that they should have gone at all.
Okay, okay. Shan, our boys, can they stay out of trouble for once? Especially Lo Celso. Was
I
he the
mean,
one in December with Reglion after
Yeah,
and
the
Lamella,
Lamella after the
yeah,
turkey that
yeah,
he well, Gio hosted a Christmas party, didn't he, against COVID guidelines and caused a whole load of trouble. I'm really confused because I really don't think they'd have been on that plane if Spurs were firm and said you can't go. Obviously, there's been like news come out in the media that they're both going to get fined by the club. Um, but this whole thing is just really confusing because, like we've seen with Brazil, they've they've kicked Lo Celso and Romero out, saying they've come from the UK, so they need to isolate for 14 days. Yet they're trying to get all the Premier League players that didn't go to Brazil banned for a game. Yet if they'd have gone on international duty, surely because they're coming from the UK, they'd have had to isolate for 14 days, so they wouldn't have been able to play anyway. So this whole thing just doesn't make any sense. And I think the FA, FIFA, Spurs, Argentina, Brazil, none of them really know what they're doing. And I mean, like Harry Kane always says, oh, country before club. And you can understand these two wanting to go and represent their country, especially off the back of a Copa America win. And it's the best Argentina team since the 90s. So I understand them wanting to go. But yeah, it's just not clear from anyone at all what is expected. Um, yeah, and if the club said they shouldn't have gone, then Romero as a new signing, that's a bit disappointing because it's not what you want to hear. But I don't think they'd have been on that plane so quick after the Watford game if they weren't allowed to go, and they wouldn't have made the arrangements for them to go to Croatia if they weren't allowed to go. Also, it's the same thing with Davinson Sanchez for Colombia. Yerry Mina didn't go on international duty because Everton said no. and Colombia accepted their wishes, whereas Davinson Sanchez went anyway. So it sort of makes me think Spurs must have said, "Okay, you three can go."
Yeah, it's either that or just the Colombia FA and Argentina FA pretty much telling Spurs we don't respect you. We want our players. I mean, because yeah, I didn't even think about Jerry Yima. Well, I can't say his name. Yima for Everton. Yeah, he's the most one of the important players for Colombia. You would think he would be there. So yeah, no, it's really confusing. Bob, can you bring some clarity to this international travesty? And I mean, really, to stop a game too in the middle of the game, were the Brazilian officials overboard, or you know?
There's only one person or one organisation who could have stopped them from going, and that's FIFA. It was under the FIFA organisation. They were called up for a FIFA game, and by law, clubs have to send them out. The clubs can advise, they can pull a strop and tell the players, like in the olden days, or how about stating you've got an injury. So they've obviously been given a choice by Spurs saying, look, you've been called up, we're not happy with it, we don't want you to go. Yet we can't stop you from going. Monday, there is a pandemic, there is a danger out there. But there's only one, the whole thing about Spurs not doing their bit or UEFA, there's only one organisation who could have stopped it. And that's FIFA. Spurs couldn't have stopped it. Now, they've gone against Spurs' wishes, so they are entitled to fine because that's a club issue. The club advised them not to go. They've went, they fucked it all up. So the club have got their own rules. They've put certain regulations and rules in place. If you go, this is what's going to happen. If there's any drama, you come back, we're going to fine you. The fact they're coming back with the tail between their legs is the reason why they're fine. But fine. But I'm sure they knew that they'd get fined before they went out. It's not going to come to any surprise that they're going to get fined just because they've returned. With regards to big bad boys, from Spurs, from the players being selected, from the players leaving Spurs, from the players getting to the airport, from the airport to the aeroplane over to the country, landing in the country, staying the night, getting up, going to training, doing everything, getting prepared, match practice, staying another night, getting up the next morning, arriving at the stadium, getting changed, doing some more warm-ups, whatever. Then the game to start. They had all that time to tell them not to play. But no, instead they wait for them to play 5 minutes, 40 minutes, seconds, whatever, and then tell them, oh, no, you shouldn't be doing this. So with regards to bad boys, there's only one bad boy in the whole place, and that's fucking FIFA and the delegates and the people who are doing this COVID thing. Stand back, look at the big picture, man. There's COVID and there's football. Fucking hell, man. They shouldn't have been even a question about any of the Premier League players going. Maybe it's a personal thing because I've lost 2 people from COVID. But, man, it's COVID. It is life and death. It's simple. People have died because of this pandemic, because of this virus. Shall we go and play football? Yes or no? And Kirst, she's right. Would their place been in jeopardy? You tell for anyone to have their place at risk in an international team because they want to be safe from a virus. Shame on them. They're not worth a team to play for. So no, absolutely. It's a shit show right from the off. FIFA should have nipped it in the bud and said no. There was no fans there, Mari. They could have played it at a fucking neutral ground. They could have played it somewhere in Europe. They're all hibernating in Croatia at the moment because it's a green zone. Fucking play it there. Play it there. Yeah. It's a shit show right from the off.
Lionel Messi said the same exact thing. He said the same. It's like 3 days later. You could have done this earlier, and so it's just ridiculous, and I just think there's still a bit of confusion on Spurs and the players' part, but definitely FIFA just to stop the game in the middle of the game. It's just ridiculous. It just I can understand why Messi and Neymar had their head down. Like I can't.
That
I've
was
never
funny
seen.
though. I mean, I was pissing myself when there was like literally people coming onto the pitch going, which one's Lo Celso? Which one's Lo Celso? Because they had no fucking idea who was like, Lo Celso? Like, turn around, let's look at your name, let's look at oh, you're Lo Celso, yeah, you're coming with me, you're coming with They were like, you what? We're playing a game of football. That's classic, man. Classic.
All right, let's read a couple more of the comments. Cody Mack is in the house. There he is. Bob
Piss off,
Spur.
Cody.
Negativity.
Negativity.
Negativity. Mr. K's in the
He's been
house.
trolling me that all day. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. K says, oh, hi, Maury. Hi, Mr. K, who is really, really awesome. And he's also been a help of helping establishing people's shows on the YouTube. And big ups to Mr. K and just the support he gives. Curse, 3 new diamonds are hard not to admire. Okay. I guess Curse understands that message. And Curse goes, yeah, smooth talker. LOL. Really appreciate it. All right. So this leaves us taking our bad boys out and going into our next subject. It's the favorite part of the show. Love it or hate it. Here we go. All right. This is the England national team once again taking the knee. And we have the full support of everybody in the background with clapping. We didn't see that during the Euros. There were a couple of boos. Shan, love it or hate it?
I love it personally. I think it's one small I'm trying to think of the word. It's one small gesture towards the bigger problem. And I think the game in Hungary shows that there's still a lot that needs to be done when it comes to not just racism in football, sexism and homophobia as well. I mean, we've seen it all over Twitter in the last couple of weeks. It's still absolutely rife, not just in other countries, but in this country as well. So yeah, everything that we can possibly do to try and put an end to it is important. I think we should carry on doing it until there's no need to make that point anymore. And I think it's important that they're still doing it even when others have stopped. I think that shows the intention of the FA and of the England players as well, because it's their choice to do it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw the was the West Ham fans. Forget the club. It was they were obscene comments they made towards the West Ham fans. They were doing towards a female.
Yeah, the sexist comment.
Yeah. That was horrible. And she didn't even know it was about her because she's just watching the game. I mean, it's just disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Bob, love it or hate it?
I think it's going to be a universal love, isn't it? I mean, it's there's a reason, there's a message there. I'm going proper love lounge now. I'm actually lying down.
Yeah, I saw that.
While talking to you. Yeah, man.
Bob's got that.
I'm lying down, man.
He's got it down.
Yeah. You showed a little leg there.
Guys, I've got no pants on. No, I'm joking. So yeah, it's
rewind
it's
30 seconds before you see a little leg there. Bob is showing you.
Oh, did I? Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was like, oh, where we go there?
Yeah, sorry. Going from that to racism in football. It's no, it's obviously a statement that needs to be made. I just hope that the message stays fresh. How do I say this? I don't want it to come across as a protocol or something that players do just before a game.
I've mentioned that before.
I think the message that it needs to transcend needs to be pretty loud and clear, because it's only next generation coming in. Well, put it this way: Bob Spurgeon, my 6-year-old, asked me why are they all taking the knee. He didn't know. So I don't understand how you make that clear. So and it is a football thing now. It is a football thing. It's not come from anywhere. The taking of the knee is a football message. I just think it needs to be made a bit clearer. Hopefully they will do soon.
Okay. Go ahead, Chris.
I love it. I think that it's got a really good statement behind it. I think that definitely agree with what Bob said. Like, hopefully the future generation don't just see it as an act that they've got to do. They see it as an act that they truly believe they want to do because they know that it's obviously right. It's something that majority of the
Oh my
people do
God!
stand
I look.
for.
You've put Cody Mack's face on me. Oh my God! That's bad.
You got a robe on too. Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
fuck you now,
Mr.
man.
K. Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, that was basically it. I think that is a massive love for it. I think that is definitely an important thing that we should definitely try to encourage other people to do. And yeah, I don't know how anyone could have a bad thing to say about it.
um, Jamie says, do they take a knee in the MLS?
That's where it started, didn't it? Not the MLS. It started in America, didn't
And
it?
yeah, the NFL,
Yeah,
Colin
the NFL.
Kaepernick.
Mm.
They were doing it. It's becoming less, and this is my answer. I love it, but eventually, I want to see more that it stop. And when I mean it, more than stop, I want to see more done. I've talked to you about before on your
Yeah.
stream that
Yeah.
I want to see now workshops, educational workshops, with the players involved, with people who have these views. You know, um, being in education, I get to help people, kids and adults, break down the false stigmas, the stereotypes, and being able to learn from each other. So I want to see a big push of an educational movement, like with Zaha, who we're gonna play Saturday. Um, he got some positive, he got some negative, because maybe he said it too early. Zaha said, "I don't really think the kneeling down has much impact, so that's why I don't feel like doing it." And I can understand Zaha because a little bit of the way it's just kind of like, well, we could do more than that. And but then again, you brought a good point. Bob Spur Jr. Still asks the questions. Hey, why are they doing that? So I say love it, but more needs to be done.
Yeah. 100%.
More than that, and we need to be able to really. It really takes to educating and changing the heart. You can legislate and put laws, but that doesn't change the heart. It's experience getting to, and I had a chance to one of my very good friends who's an older mentor of mine was in a hate group. And because of that experience with the African American community, he was able to change his heart. So eventually we hope we get to that point where people are able to open up and really get to know um, people for who they are, different cultures and customs. And so, yeah, so
I think the
love it.
thing with it as well is FIFA and UEFA need to take harsher stances on if it happens in stadiums.
Hmm.
But what happened at Hungary? They'll probably get a game behind closed doors for that. Kick them
Yeah.
out. Kick them out of the tournament.
It's amazing, Sean. They were there counting how many flares were going off when England played Denmark. I can't remember, but in the Euros, they were counting how many flares to go off because they were going to fine them £5,000 or £2,000 per flare. So we actually had a UEFA delegate counting, right, 1, 2, 3, just to put an invoice together to charge the English FA. Yeah, there's blatant monkey chants on worldwide TV,
Yeah.
and they're not doing anything. I've not heard anything. I've not heard if they're going to be charged or whatever. There's no big hoo-ha's been made yet. The fireworks and everything was reported worldwide, and England being charged and fined. I don't care if no one saw it. Apparently the players and the manager Gareth Southgate didn't see any of it because they're too engrossed in the game. I think Sterling saw it when the bottle cart nearly hit his head a couple of times when he was celebrating. But I don't care if no one saw it. It's there. It's on fucking TV. Reporters have seen it. You don't need anyone to see it. It's there. And for it to be just shoved under the fucking carpet as usual, as always, it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they can sit there and count how many flares and fireworks have gone off so they know how much to charge the English FA. Fucking joke,
But
man. Fucking
it's
joke.
like the Bulgaria game. Was it it was when
Yeah.
fans were in the stadium, weren't it? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it might have been the 2019 season. And they literally got a couple of games behind closed doors and a fine. Well, fining these people isn't going to do anything. Saying they can't have fans for a couple of games isn't going to do anything. Not only they need to take a much firmer stance on
Yeah.
on on stadiums that allow this to happen. Why aren't stewards saying stop it or you're out?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
it again, you're out. It's just disgusting. They're allowing it to happen, so they need to have consequences for it.
Yeah. No, and that's the stiffest penalty you could get. You out of the tournament. You forfeit a couple of games. You can't qualify. That's some heavy sanctions. Some of the comments here. Cody says, "Scenes in Hungary. Good on Declan Rice, Raheem Sterling, and the rest of the England team." Mr. K says, "Is it that the land of the knee?" Talking about the United States. Bob's best Bob looked in ages. Yes, I agree. I agree. And continue to support him as he has his big month next month in October. So praise up to Bob. Love is love,
All
right?
good, man.
Uh,
Love is love,
yeah,
man. Love is love.
yeah. Mark, and with a widescreen, you'll be hoping for a sneak peek of Bob's knee.
You need more than widescreen to get any glimpse of Bob, mate.
Oh, I can see.
That is so slow. It is so slow.
I can see Shad's dog. Wow, can I see Shad's dog? Here in the background.
She tried to jump on the bed and fell off, which is why I laughed a minute ago. But you could sort of see her in one of them in the background.
Racism, kick it out. Let it mean more than a phrase. Let it mean more than a phrase. I agree. No place for racism.
I'll curse in the chat.
Yeah.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, look at that. All right, let's look at our next subject. I put the man right here. This was a quiz question the other day. Erickson, there's rumors going out. He's free. If he was free, would you want him back? You love it or hate it? We will start with. Who did we start with last time? It was Shan, right? We'll start with Bob. Love it or hate it? Erickson, the playmaker, coming back.
I love Derek Erickson. Peak Erickson was amazing, and you don't do so many assists and score so many goals without being a class player. But for me, man, it's down to his health.
Yeah.
And depending on if him coming back to football is going to risk his health in any way or form, then my brother, take time out, man. There's more important things in life. Life itself is more important. So, nah, man, life's too short. Love it while you can. Why put yourself through a risk? I love him to see. I love to see him back at Spurs. Become an ambassador or go onto a coaching team, help the kids. He'll find something at Spurs. But if it means playing's there's a risk. Nah, man, nah. I love him, but I wouldn't want him back under those risks.
Curse.
Well, it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing as well.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he's basically just took the words out of my mouth because I think majority of the Spurs fan base would want Ericsson back if he was in full health. But just after what we saw, I was sobbing my heart out when I watched that game and I just saw him on the floor, and I would not want that to happen again to him at all. I definitely do think that with Ericsson, he's got little kids. I don't know if he's got one or two, but they're really young. But in fact, even their age don't even matter. Like the fact he is a dad and he's had this massive, he has faced death. Literally, he died, didn't he? And then he came back to life. The fact that has happened, that would put me out of football. But obviously, it depends on what he thinks about it. But personally, I wouldn't want him playing. I would rather him sit on if he wants to, I don't know, like if he wants to help out with the younger ones, but not, do you know, like work as hard, like physically and things, then by all means go for it. But I'd love to have him back, but I just wouldn't want it to. I just wouldn't want him to risk his health.
Yep. Shan?
I mean, yeah, I agree. If he's at any risk at all of the same thing happening again, then I don't think I'd want to see him back playing. Obviously,
Yeah.
is it Daily Blind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously plays with a similar device fitted, and he's okay. So it could just be that, like, with if the doctors can guarantee that with this device that they're fitted to him, he's okay to play. I think he passed his medical, didn't he, with flying colours. It's just the Serie A rules. If they've got one of these devices fitted, they're not allowed to play. So I think if there was a guarantee that he's not at any risk and that this device is gonna work, then 100% I think we'd all love to see him back. I mean, he'd be the missing piece, but if he's at any risk at all, then I'd love to see him back at the club, as the guys have said, in a coaching role.
Yeah.
I think he's got so much to give. But yeah, I think if there was no risk to his health, 100% get him back in the starting 11. But if there was any risk at all, then no, I think he needs to think of his family, he needs to think of himself, and there's some things more important than, obviously, football's a short career, and his has maybe been cut too shorter than he would have expected, and that's going to hurt. But some things are more important.
Yep, I totally agree. No, I said on another show, I'll say, man, we need another creator on the field, because we haven't replaced Erickson. But man, there's things, truthfully, more important than football, and that is life. And I literally was in tears because I remember I was telling my mom, he literally died. He literally died in front of a whole global world,
Yeah.
and was brought back to life, and literally in tears, just literally in tears. And so for him, it's just, hey, be an ambassador, get into coaching, um, but you're taking a chance getting on the field. I know there's medical advancements, but the intensity of the game, and big up to Daily Blend for being able to even play. But especially coming to the Premier League, where it's just, I would advise him, to just talk to his partner and just ride out to the sunset, man. He's already beloved by the global community. So yeah, so um, we kind of love it that he is who he is, but we kind of don't want him coming back.
Yeah.
All right, we got two other ones to go before we get to love, real love. All
Oh
right,
yeah. Oh fuck
okay.
off.
Well, I don't know how I even feel about this new ECA. If you guys don't know, that's the European Club Commission. This is the group who that we've had for, I want to say, for a couple of decades,
Yeah.
and they pretty much set the ground rules of what we currently has a system of how we get to Champions League, basically how
Oh,
European
friggin' hell.
football is run. And so um, this is a you have to think about, okay, he's gonna have our best interests on this board, but then again,
Mhm.
which is weird because he's part of the group, the six that that broke away to do the Super League. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, and they voted him in. To my knowledge, the clubs voted him in. The rest of
Yep.
the 14. So I'm kind of
Right.
like, if they voted him in, I guess if all is forgiven with the other 14 teams. But do they know what they're doing? And a guy that loves power, do you kind of give
Yeah.
him more? Curse, tell me.
Wow, what a shit decision. He literally came into the club saying he doesn't do football. He's a businessman. So that see, this is like the first proper time like I've actually heard about this. That's actually kind of shocked me. Like you said as well, like wow. Yeah, I actually can't even find the words, but fucking wow.
I just don't know how to feel
Where
about this.
football is concerned, I do not think that he deserves credit that a lot of people give him for. But well, it's done, isn't it? We'll just we'll just have to hope that he doesn't obviously fuck
I mean,
things up.
if he's involved with the brand, I would say he's real good, and I'll always give him his props because I'm in the States.
Yeah,
He really knows how to put out the brand that is Tottenham, and it does bring in money that we wish we would spend. But
yeah,
in the football aspect, I just do not know how this works. But
yeah.
Shan,
That's literally it.
Mm.
do
I
you?
think I think it's only a good thing for Spurs, and the fact that he beat the City CEO to get this is just
Yeah.
another one up on City, which obviously I love. Um, like Mr. K said, if this keeps him busy and keeps him away from the actual footballing matters at Spurs and leaves it to Paratici, then that's all. That's always a good thing. And also, um, I think they're not really good. It's not really going to be. I think they're going. I can't see this group really discussing football in matters. I think it's more how can they structure things, how can they make things better, how can they. The one thing Daniel Levy is good at is commercials. It's the brand.
Yeah.
And if this board is going to be looking at how can we make the brand of European football bigger, then he's the man. And I think that could potentially be why he's been voted in.
Mhm.
But
That's
yeah, I was really shocked to see that he'd been voted in by the other clubs. But clearly they trust Levy more than they trust City, which is a given, I think.
Yeah, I would have thought someone from Aston Villa or Everton or somebody would have gotten in, but maybe keep your enemies closer. Since he joined the Super League, now he could kind of give those ideas to the ECA. Maybe, who knows? Bob, um, is it good to have for the ECA to have maybe the Super League former Super League member as their executive member board?
The way this is played out, it's Levy's got his own little friends at first, the ECA friends, and the cool guys, the Super League guys, came along and said, "Hey, do you want to play with us?" And Levy turned around to his ECA friends and said, "Nah, fuck you guys, I'm off, man." And he went to the Super League guys, and he found out that the Super League big boys weren't as popular as he thought they were, and he thought, I'm not sure about this. So he went toddling back to the ECA mates, and they were like, "Can I join your gang again?" And we're like, "Yeah, come on then." Oh no, let's ask the rest of our friends. And the rest of our friends, right? If he comes into our gang again, he'll bring us a bit of moolah. So yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he's voted in. He was voted in by Arsenal boards, and Man City executive was in the running. He saw Levy come in and thought, "Nah, fuck that, mate. I ain't gonna fight with that." With regards to him going on the board, I couldn't give two fucks, mate. I couldn't give two fucks. He could become the king of Nabia, as whoever, wherever, whichever country. As far as I'm concerned, it makes no matter. As long as there's progression on the pitch for Spurs, he could do whatever he wants in his business life and personal life. Couldn't give two fucks what he does, man. With regards to leaving Paratici will never be able to do what he wants to do while Levy's signing the checks. So, he's just get that out of the head. Levy is still signing the checks. So, but yeah, with regards to his role, I couldn't give two fucks what he does, where he goes, which board he sits on, which king he's become, because my only concern is, he's in a position of making some good decisions for the ECA now. Well, he's been in a position to make some good decisions for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club for 20 years, and he's fallen short a few times. So, like I say, couldn't give two fucks, mate. As long as we're progressing on the pitch, that's all that matters in my eyes.
Well, my opinion of this, I've you know how some other shows they're like in the middle because it's just kind of like, well, you know, this could be a good distraction for him. It could be good for us in regards to Spurs always being at the foot of the table. Also, it could be a bad thing because it can make his ego, which is already big, bigger. And so let's see what happens. We have a couple of comments. Talking to Jamie says, would it benefit us if he was in the ECA?
No.
Mr. K says, hoping Levy keeps busy with this instead of our football team. Scott M says, despite what you might hear elsewhere, Levy never does what is best for us, only what's best for his bank account. Um,
No.
and then Mr. K said,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it brings in the money, yeah, for his own pockets, other than the bald one. Everyone's hating on City means everyone thinks they'll win the league. I don't know about that.
I
They
don't
know.
think they'll win the league.
I don't think about. I don't think they win the league either. Um, they know Levy will screw over Spurs if it helps him. City CEO actually wants to win, so he puts his club above others. Hmm.
Yeah.
Is it Nambia a girl's name? I think it's about
Probably. I
Nambia,
think it's a.
the country.
No. Nabia is something in Avatar. I think so. But yeah,
But
it's all right.
Nadia is the girl's name. Nadia. Unless
No,
you've ever
Nabia is someone in Avatar or some program, Marvel program or something I've watched. So yeah.
All right, we got a little Avatar reference, and then the last one. This one, let me just tell you,
Done that one.
I do not understand. I'll read this. Fans are being urged to travel by bicycle, no problem, or public transport, no problem, and only eat vegan food for the Tottenham Chelsea game. Big game. Derby match is September 19th as part of efforts to make the first elite level carbon neutral fixture. I'm ready to skip everybody. I freaking hate this. What? What? We'll start with Shan. What do you think about this rubbish?
I'll tell you one person that was not impressed with this, and that was the caller. He was absolutely
Carnival, isn't he?
fuming. Yeah, he was, and then he was like, "What's Diver going to do?" Because he's in his Tunnel Club box having steak and lobster, and Daniel Levy's coming at us saying you must have vegan. Like, come on, if I can get a normal Greggs sausage roll or a vegan sausage roll, I'm going to go for the normal sausage roll every single time. I mean, I quite like vegetarian and vegan food, but if a choice is there, I'm going to go for a chicken pie rather than a vegan. Like, it just don't make any sense. The club are going to have the food there anyway. They're not going to force people. They're not going to
No,
only sell
they've been
vegan stuff.
urged. Yeah, they've been
Yeah,
urged.
they might not have as much of the normal stuff as they normally would, so it sells out, and then everyone's got to have the vegan stuff. But I mean, you can't force people to have it. I think it's ridiculous. But I mean, for me, I live in Lincolnshire. I have no, like, unless me and Jack want to pay 80 odd quid in public transport, which is more than a ticket. We drive to the ground and park for £9 instead. It's just, yeah, it's just ridiculous. I think they need to consider that not everyone lives in London, not everyone lives close to the ground. Yeah.
Cody
So
Max is a weirdo. I just thought I'd put that out there.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo, man.
Because I haven't had meat or dairy for 13 months. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
can't do that.
Cody, look, you've not eaten meat and dairy for 13 months, and look at the state of you, mate. Look at the state of you. Love you, Code. Love you, Code.
But this is the thing, like, obviously we haven't been doing it for a while because we sold our house in Essex and we've moved in with the in-laws, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be in our house in a couple of weeks. But before we moved here, we were doing gusto, and a lot of the time I'd pick the vegetarian stuff, and Jack would moan because they say, but then you're getting less for your money because you're not getting meat, which is more expensive. It's like, yeah, but I actually just prefer the vegetarian options. Like, but when you go to a football match, it's not the same. Like, it's a full dinner being vegetarian and like having a choice of a sausage roll or a vegan pie. You're gonna go for a sausage roll every time. It just doesn't make any sense.
And isn't vegan food extremely taste? It's kind of pricey. It's not cheap.
Oh, man,
So
you're cracking up. You're cracking up. You're
Oh
going to tell
God,
me
that
you're
was
vegan
just
now.
my phone.
it's expensive.
You got
Bob,
vegan internet, man. You got vegan internet. Vegan Wi-Fi. Oh, it's
yeah.
gone.
Oh, heck.
I'll tell you what. I got a really good while Mari sorts himself out. Are we still live?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
still
we're
live.
still live.
I got this box of tofu from Sainsbury's the
Ugh.
other day. I thought, right, so I got this box of tofu. I got home, got the tofu out the box. I put it on a grill. I put some like really nice balsamic vinegar on it, and some a bit of parsley, a bit of garlic, oil. Griddled it for 2 minutes either side, and then blushed it with a bit of sun-dried tomato, and then put it under the grill for about 20 minutes. Took it out and then dipped it in some, I think it was olive oil that's had like a couple of chilies in it. Took it out, put it on the griddle again, so it gives a nice little crust. And then I ate the cardboard because that's what fucking tofu tastes like. So yeah, it's not nice. Tofu ain't nice. Is he back?
You see, my opinion
I'm back.
on all of this is quite different to all of yours.
Go ahead, first.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you was gonna say something.
No, I'm back.
Yeah. So obviously, I agree that it's wrong to force people on what they should and shouldn't be eating because
Not forcing,
they literally say only eat vegan food as well in that statement, don't they? And I don't think that that's right. I think you should be able to have a choice with what you want to have in your body. And I agree with what Shan said. Like, if you don't live local, then obviously car is probably one of your best forms of transport. If obviously you're not in train. But at the same time, like, I think that there's nothing wrong with the club trying to encourage people to be more eco-friendly and like less harmful to the environment. Like, I get that kind of sense of where they're coming from with that, but at the same time, like, I don't agree with them saying that you should only eat vegan food. Does that make sense? Like, I don't.
No,
love
that's
it
what
that
they're saying.
like,
They say, yeah. I think what they're going to do, Kirst, they're going to have vegan and I'm going to say proper food at the club, but they're going to be urged to just have the vegan. They'll put both stuff out because you can imagine how it's all going to kick off. So they'll have meat and all the proper food, proper food, the real food. They'll have that. Then they'll have the little shitty vegan area, and then it's up to the people. They're urged to go pure vegan food.
well, like what Cody's put here,
but,
that's what I'm getting at. I agree with Cody on this bit here.
Yeah.
It's about raising awareness on how we're destroying the planet. Like, that's where I'm coming from. Like, that's my
hold a forum then. Hold a forum and where people can go and learn it. Don't shove it down their face.
I'm gonna
have a little section of the club where they're doing some leaflets and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure Cody drives to work.
I'm gonna invite Cody. He is our resident vegan expert to come on. I'm gonna get Cody. Let me find him.
I think the thing is as well, the club's already the greenest in the Premier League, so they're obviously doing a really good job in like driving their their whatever it is down. And like I say, there is a lot of work to do with fixing the planet, and I think
bad boys.
Sorry.
I think the thing with it is as well, like, everyone can make life choices to bring it down to make a difference. Like, we would have, like I say, I'll have vegetarian options more often than not, and
as a side dish.
No, like, I really enjoy just vegetarian food. I do enjoy it, but the smell of chicken nuggets and sausage rolls just lures me in, Bob. So I could never go fully vegetarian or vegan. I couldn't do it. But but it's making small life choices. Like, I won't eat fish anymore. After watching Seaspiracy, I won't eat fish because like honestly, that the damage that they do. And did you know the majority of plastic that's found in the ocean actually comes from fishing nets?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, you know
It's not
what? I
straws.
don't eat. Well, Code. Think of all the ants you kill, man, while walking to work. All the ants and little spiders you're killing on the way. I'm kidding, man. I love you. But I've stopped eating lobster about 10 years ago. Why? Because I don't know if I should say this. Oh, fuck it, I'll say it. Someone showed me a YouTube video of a live lobster being killed. You know how it goes through the head and everything, but you could hear the lobster cry or make a
Yeah.
sound. And no, not for me, man.
Yeah, I won't eat fish. Like,
No, not for
even
me.
when they say it's like tuna, I'm not really a big fish person anyway. I only really ate tuna and cod because I'm a bit basic with like I've been told many times I have a 12-year-old like taste palate.
I've been told that about me as well.
Yeah, but like even tuna, they say it's dolphin friendly, like, but they can't guarantee it's dolphin friendly. And I've got a massive thing for dolphins, so now I can't bring myself to do it. It's
Well, this is a heated
You know,
topic.
joking,
I think this
all
is
joking aside, Cody. You know, one thing that the doctor did tell me is try and go vegetarian for. I think he said even just go vegetarian for like 4 days of the week, and I can't do that. So I want to be educated. All joking to one side, I'd love to sit and chat with you for health reasons purely. Is what could be done, why it should be done. So
It's great
yeah, I'd
for
be really
weight loss
interested.
as well.
Yeah,
My
honestly,
yeah,
my partner
yeah.
went vegan for 6 months during the first lockdown, and he lost like 2 stone. But
Mm,
physically and things like that, like he was never tired anymore. There was
mm.
nothing like that. Like he felt so much better going
Ah,
back.
yeah.
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 honestly, I really enjoy, like I say, I really enjoy vegetarian food, and I don't eat as much meat as I used to. Like I used to think you should have meat with everything. But yeah, I like I say, when we do gusto, which I don't know if you have anything similar in the States, Mari, where they basically, I'm a really lazy cooker, and because me and Jack both work long hours, it's just easy having everything already weighed out. But the
Yeah.
vegetarian options just look so much more appealing than the meat
Expensive though,
options.
man. Vegan food's expensive here.
Yeah, it is. It's like
Proper.
gluten free. I'm meant to be gluten free, but like
Yeah.
I say, I can't resist a sausage roll or chicken nuggets. So I just suffer the
Ah,
consequences and have a
yeah.
bad stomach for a couple of days instead.
I
Sorry, I
will.
don't know. It's so uncalled for that was.
I will. I
So
will
uncalled
say
for.
this, and I'll read the comments because this has been one of the most heated topics. Vegan and versus non-vegan. I will say this. Um, 1 stone is 10 pounds. Correct me if I'm wrong.
14.
Yeah,
14.
14 or
Because
something like
I've
that.
lost 50 pounds because I gained it when my back, when I had my accident. I lost 50 pounds. Nothing but smoothies, vegan smoothies that my mom made. And I will say this, it's affected everything, not only my energy, because people are, wow, you look great, but even, in the Caribbean, when you eat a lot of vegan, there's a lot of green leaf foods that gives you a little extra oomph in all aspects. Oh yeah. And so
Yeah.
there is a benefit of that. So, but I do like my little bit of my protein, just a little bulk up. But there's definitely a balance. So I'll read.
Mm.
Cody says it's nothing to do with forcing people uh to to eat this or
Eat.
that. Okay, ear this. It's about raising awareness and how we're
That's what.
destroying the planet, and meat farming is a big part of it. Okay, he got there with the destroying the planet. Bob Cody's managed to keep his hair just south of basic ones. Uh, are you involved in a self harm group? Cody back, and he responds, humanity. Aaron, pick up Aaron. He says balsamic soy chili, no need to fry, top with garlic
Yes, Aaron.
chives. All right. If you don't like tofu, you're not cooking it right. Mr. K says, I tried vegan lobster the other day. Damn, things were still moving. Uh, Aaron says, a dashi tofu is yum. I've tasted it. It's okay. It's a publicity stunt. Okay, going back to what Levy's doing. I like vegan food, John food, and Lucy food. And then Cody says, a lot of men have a hard time separating what they eat from their masculinity. Ooh.
Oh, that's a big
And then Scott M says, Cody, Matt, sorry, didn't mean to offend you. Credit to you if it's a personal choice based on your views on the impact of the world. I could not cut meat out of my diet, not a chance. I walk to work, Bob. Aaron says, I enjoyed the right discussion. Vegans versus meat eaters and Japanese food. Wayne is in the house. He said, if that's what the club want to do, then so be it. Push it onto the fans. Then I said Cody a lick. And then Aaron said, as a vegan, you want to kill all the excess cows, chickens that currently exist. Mari from the Spurs says, check your message on Twitter.
Oh my
Okay. Blend everything, convert into sugar. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to get to the top because I want to hear this topic then. If you have a few minutes,
He's
okay.
totally disregarded the comment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess it looks like the vegans are winning out. So it goes on to our next topic, which I'm going to skip because I want to go to this topic. It is coming close to home.
Before you carry on, read your private messages. I think Kirsten needs to go, mate.
Yeah. So I know she only has a few minutes left, so I'm gonna bring up this next question so she can answer this one. We won't go to the serious one. We'll go to this one. This next question. Let me remove this. I'm in a situation, right? Lovely situation. I am interested in talking to my rival in a different sport. And things are going great. So the question that popped up that I want to know from Spurs Nation, Spurs family, the Love Lounge question of the week: would you date or marry a rival? Either be a Gooner, Chelsea fan, West Ham, Crystal Palace. Curse, you get the first dibs on this one.
Thank you. Yeah, so as long as they've got good banter and they don't get like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, not abusive, because obviously there's a fine line in between just having a joke and then actually being serious with that. But yeah, of course, I don't really see a problem with it because I think it makes it more fun on game days as well.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Shan, would you date a rival?
I'm just going to put this out there. I've got a dad that's an Arsenal fan, and that is more than enough for me. Absolutely not. I've not dated people. Like, I spent 6 years on Tinder. Well, probably not. Yeah, 6 years on Tinder. And if I saw anything to do with Arsenal or Chelsea or West Ham in their Tinder, they were a swipe to the left. Like, just no, I couldn't do it. Like, I'm way too invested in it, and I get way too like serious in the moment with it as well. So I ask my other half. I can be an absolute arsehole when Spurs lose. Imagine living with someone like you've just had a North London derby and Arsenal win. I'd be an absolute arsehole. I couldn't do that to someone else, and I wouldn't want to put up with it from someone else either. So,
oh no, you see, I'd use that to my advantage. I'd say, even though they'd be like a massive pain in the ass, I'd say to him, "You can do this, you can do that. Like, since you've won, I'd like make them do a forfeit. Like, oh yeah, if your team wins, you're doing the pots and stuff like that. And if you haven't got a dishwasher, I'd use it to my advantage in that sense."
yeah,
But I think that's just
Yeah.
because Ben's a Spurs fan, so I've not had that like rivalry.
yeah,
with, like,
I
a
wouldn't.
with
I
a
wouldn't even want to
couple.
be around him for a week afterwards. Like, but this is the thing. Jack weren't really into football until we got together, and actually, he weren't really into football until last season. and now I've sort of converted him. He's bought his first Spurs shirt. I took him to the Watford game. So like it's good, and like he messages me some things. He still really don't have a clue what he's talking about, but it's funny, and I don't mind teaching him because it suits me to have someone else in the house. Like when we have kids, they'll be raised as Spurs fans. There's no one to
Yeah.
argue about that with.
That's
Whereas
what's happened in my house.
if you marry, like if you're with someone and you have kids with an Arsenal fan, like straight away, well, who's the kid going to support? Like with my dad, he was a bit lucky. Like I went one way, I support Spurs. My little sister is an absolute twat and supports Arsenal. He got lucky with one out of the two, but yeah, I personally couldn't do it. I'd be like, nah, see ya, because you've got to be a certain type of person to support them. Let's be serious.
Sham always bring the point home. The hammer. Bob, would you venture out of the family for love? He's shaking
Depends
his
how
head.
fit she is. True. It's true.
That is a
If she was
point.
fit, I couldn't give a shit. I'm passionate enough about Spurs that I hold my ground against anyone. Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham, especially if she's fit. And I know it's a blokey thing to say, but it's a love lounge. If she's fit as, fuck it, man. I couldn't give a shit who you support. I'll fuck. Yeah, that's the way it is. I'm Spurs through and through. I'll never try and convert it. I can't be hypocrite. I can't be passionate about Spurs and expect her not to be passionate about her own club. If you're in love, you love banter. Part of me falling in love with someone will be down to how much banter we share, how much we can have a laugh, how much we can take a piss out of each other. For me, if it's Arsenal, even better. If she's Arsenal and fit, even better. So, nah, it's all good. It's all good. I would.
Well, I would say yes. I was watching a couple months ago another YouTuber, Expressions, and he was doing a show with a Chelsea fan. I think her name was Sophie, and I was just like, yeah, she's fit. I don't like Chelsea. I hate Arsenal more, but Chelsea is next, and I was just like, man, she's fit. I would go. I would go. We'll have bets. I mean, hey, you gotta wash the dishes or sleep on the couch or whatever it is. But I would definitely date a rival as long. I mean, it's civil. I would do that. I know Curse has to go, but I would love for Curse to watch this video of this next topic because it's Happy Birthday Spurs,
Yeah,
and
go
it's
for it.
and it's the 100 and since we're talking about dating rivals, it's the 139th birthday of Spurs. So the question is, who, and don't have to be on this list, is the most handsome GQ sexiest Spurs player of all time?
Oh,
Let's.
Hoybier.
Oh, I got an impressive list. Let's watch the video.
Oh, I hope he's on it. Yep.
Oh. Yep.
oh, Mari.
King, Robbie King, the Jazz, super fan, Jan, talking.
Yes.
What the fuck was this?
So, out of our history of the 139 years, who is the most handsome GQ, sexiest Spur player of all time. It was the hard choice. You know, I will give props to a brother being handsome and being GQ, being cool. I'm gonna go first and say because this guy is a cool chap. He is smooth. If I were to hang out with him, we will pull so many fit girls and it will surprise you. But I'm gonna say Mr. Crouchy is the most GQ sexiest Spur player of all time. Second on the list, I gotta give it to Kane. I love Kane, but
Oh my god, man.
but Crouchy gets it on top. Curse contest that.
Yeah, so we all obviously know my answer is Javier all day, every day. If we're going top three, Pierre would be first. Then I would say Son, and then I would say Vertonghen. But yeah,
Okay.
definitely Javier is my number one.
But Crouchy is so entertaining. Hoiberg
Well,
might be just
he can be
boring.
number four then.
Number four? Okay. I would take that.
It's
He
the
is
lack
the
of facial hair. I know Son doesn't have any, but yeah, I just like a bit of facial hair.
facial, yep, facial
Yeah,
hair
Son's an exception.
is important to curse. Listen up, facial hair. So that
Yeah,
I
and
get that.
tattoos.
And tattoos. That definitely.
Mhm.
Yep, and I don't think I don't know. Crouch might have a tattoo, but that facial hair is not there. Not there. Shan,
Oh yes,
who is
yes.
the most all-time GQ sexiest Spurs player of all time?
Do you know what? Everyone's going to think I'm going to go for Højbjerg, and I love Højbjerg. I love him as a footballer. Like, he is just beautiful. But because Kirsten's already said Højbjerg, I'm gonna push boundaries a little bit here and say Eric Dyer, just because I don't know if anyone's watched
Oh,
Vikings. Has anyone watched Vikings?
Yeah, do you think that he looks like
He looks like Björn.
Ragnar?
No, he looks like Björn.
oh.
He really
Björn.
looks like
Oh
Björn.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The sun. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
know
looks
who
like
you mean.
Oh.
He
So
does.
he does
If he had hair, he would definitely.
100%, and with
Yeah,
the
do
little
you know
bit of
what?
facial
I
hair,
actually agree. Not that he's the most handsome, because obviously Javier is, but I definitely think that he's a good looking fella.
he's up there. He's 100% up there, Eric Dyer, and you know he ain't afraid of a scrap either. So
Yeah, in fact, yeah, he can be my number four. Peter Crouch, you're way down that list, mate.
Peter Crouch is dumped. But if we're doing top three, obviously I've gone in there. I've gone in there for Eric Dyer. I'm not gonna say Højbjerg, just
Glenn
because
Hoddle all day long.
Kirsten's already mentioned how handsome Højbjerg is. So if I was gonna go for a top three, I'd probably say Eric Dyer, Deli. I've always had a little thing for
Aaron.
Deli. I
Aaron's
once
got a lovely accent.
interesting fact of the day. But when Dele Alli was still at MK Dons, I went and watched the Colchester United MK Dons game because that's where I'm from. I've got a Colchester scarf in the background, and I actually matched Dele Alli on Tinder. That's my claim to fame. So Eric
Oh!
Dyer, Dele Alli, and
Would you gone out with him?
of course I would.
Well,
He's not. It's
oh,
Dele
yeah.
Alli.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yes, Deliani. Yeah.
Dele Alli, and then number three.
Oh, Shed's turning Spurs players' heads. That's her claim to fame. Okay.
I'm trying to think of number three. Obviously, I said I wouldn't pick Højbjerg. So
Oh no, girl, he can be your third choice as
got
long
to
as he's
think.
not your first.
I've got to think. I've got to think of third. Do you know what? How have you not put Gazaniga in there as well?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Gaza is so
Oh,
beautiful.
well, no, you guys could throw it out there. I just put it. It would take a million pictures because Spurs is the most sexiest club in the world. It would have been every player on our team. But I just had to put some iconic ones. But yeah, Gazania, he's a handsome bloke. You know.
I'm just going to point out, Mr. K, that this was back when I was probably about 21 and Deli was 20 or something. I think he's a year younger than me. So, yeah. this was back in the day when I was skinny.
I remember.
So before we go to Bob, so we know that Shan turned a player's head. Deli was probably dating Ruby, whatever her name is, and Shan caused him to turn heads, as they say in Love Island. He turned heads and match with Shan. Wow, that is some big news. Cody Mack says, I almost put his picture. Brian Gill has some sex icon upside. Yeah, he does. And trust me, if he's scoring goals, he may be the most sexiest Spurs player of all time. That hair, I mean, he doesn't have tattoos and that beard, Curse, but that hair, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm jealous of that hair. Curse on your life?
You know, sorry, I was miles away then. I was absolutely miles away. I'm bobbing off.
You know
Who's
what?
Who's
You've
Who
probably
are you
got
talking about? Harry Kane?
Brian
Brian,
Hill.
that hair.
No, he's not on my radar. I'm sorry, he's not my type. He has a lot
How
of
can
hair.
you? How can you talk about hair and not put Toby in there, man?
Yeah,
Toby
Toby's
with that
gorgeous.
hair.
Toby, yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
Toby's
What?
absolutely
Listen to
gorgeous.
it. Yeah, Toby.
That's
Hey.
my number one, man. Toby's my
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
Ooh La La Ginola's my number two, and Jermaine. And it's a bit worrying that I'm not had to think about these, but Jermaine Defoe's my number three purely and simply. I've met him a few times, and he's always surrounded, if you know what I mean. I always used to see him in a club down Essex called Faces. He's seen me so many times in there. There was once he actually waved at me before I waved at him. Yeah, man. He knew me. He was like, yo, yeah, man. But yeah, Jermaine Defoe's cool. Ginola, and Toby, man. Yeah, Toby's got to be in there.
Yeah,
No,
Toby's got an amazing image, let's say.
Yeah, no, he does. And I heard Abby Summers talk about Jermaine Defoe and him being her favorite player, and him being smooth and stuff like that. And no, he's a cool dude. Even when he played in States, he's a smooth cat. Smooth cat. No, definitely. Let's read the responses. I read this one already. Shan, Deli wishes. Deli's not on your level. He's not on your level. Bob matched Defoe on Tinder.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. That happened.
Turned him down. Jamie, if you went,
Jamie.
man, Faces was the place.
It was the club.
Faces. Interesting nights in that place.
To over 1 billion women on the planet, Song is the sexiest thing going. You know what? Song, he's a handsome fellow. Shanila Zadarsky, sexiest person.
Yeah, I agree with this one, especially from the women's team. She is the best looking one on there.
I mentioned last week the American Alex Morgan, who lives in Orlando, I ran into her mom. Real nice. Is simply gorgeous inside and out. So she was real nice. I was like, Alex Morgan, I am a big fan.
Sweaty Cockerel, Ian Dowie. Check him out. Honestly,
Ian Dowie.
One of the best looking. Google him. He's one of the best ones. Ever to have lived. Best looking footballers ever to. And let me know what you think. Ian Dowie.
Okay, I'm gonna do it right now. Ian Dowie. You know, guys could think other people are.
What a looker. Big up Sweaty, big up Sweats.
Yeah, man. Lurch looks pretty good. I mean, hey, Lurch, is Curse, it's Shalini nationality that makes her so sexy.
Oh, do you know who I used to love? Right, back when I was like 11 or 12, Michael Dawson was my absolute favourite.
Yeah,
don't you think Van der Beek looks like him? Don't you think Van der Beek looks like him?
Yeah.
Yes. Van der Beek
looks
just
Van der
like
Beek. It looks like Michael Dawson. Yeah.
Michael Dawson was my favourite Spurs player for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
Oh
you
God, I've only
do-
just stopped laughing.
Does Jamie Redknapp float your boat? I know a lot of the women. I watch a lot of British TV. They like Harry's son. You know, they think he's like everything in a bag of chips. Jamie Redknapp. You guys know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, he wouldn't make it into my Spurs top 10.
Okay. Okay. Huh.
Who?
He's
What are you
just
on
a bit of
about?
an arse, ain't he? Jamie
Who?
Redknapp.
Jamie
Jamie,
Redknapp.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jamie Redknapp. He's an
his
arse.
personality. I mean, looker wise, maybe, but that's you see him in faces as well. He's a right cocky twat.
Now his dad looked like he was a smooth player. Harry's man.
Harry's
He's
wicked, man. Harry's a legend.
yeah. Harry. Yeah. In some weird way, I love Pochettino. But something maybe because I became a Spurs fan when Harry was our coach. But something about Harry, man, it's just I don't know. I don't get
My
it. I
ex,
just
my ex, my ex used to fancy Pochettino, as long as his hair was good.
Or
His hair, he'd
Pochettino,
have
to
to
be
have the proper
fair,
hair. Yeah, he'd have to have
in
the proper
the boss
haircut, a bit
suit.
of stubble. Yeah, that's it. In the Ajax away game, yeah, she proper liked him then. He had a proper haircut, he had a bit of a stubble, and he wore a suit. Yeah, she had a thing for Pochettino when he was spruced up, as I would say.
Mm.
so you guys didn't like AVB? No, not
AVB was handsome, but he's just a bit of a wet wipe,
AVB.
ain't he?
horrible
Oh,
coach.
his hair was
Uh,
all. I don't know, man.
yeah,
That's it.
David.
Sexiest manager. Ooh,
Cody, I'm just going to put it out there that Gazaniga was number 3 on my list. We didn't leave Gaza out.
Gazzaniga. Yeah, wow, Gazzaniga's getting a lot of pull. I
It's
mean,
the eyes. It's
yeah.
the
The ponytail. Did he have a ponytail one time? The ponytail,
he had a bun going on,
a
didn't
bun.
he?
Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
man bun.
yeah, the man bun. I mean, it was better than
Gareth
Daniel's.
Bale
Tons.
Don't
Yeah,
say
Yeah.
it.
Daniel's bun.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny.
Well, Dan's supposed to be on this show. I don't know when he's gonna pop
Yeah, I
up. But yeah, man, he gives Danny a run for his money. He had that bun going on. He was pretty. Yeah, he's pretty handsome with that bun right there. Yeah. What did Bob? Mr. K says. So basically, Bob has an excuse for having a picture of Potch on his pillow.
yeah,
So
still do. Still
you
do.
still do? Okay, okay. Um, do ugliest Spurs players? Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Oh,
I do
so
not.
many, man. So many.
Then
I'm really sorry, Mari, but it's got to be Crouchy because he famously did say that if he weren't a professional footballer, he'd be a virgin, which I could probably agree with.
yeah. So his personality sells his personality
Yeah.
sells him. Yep. And I think that's what gets Crouch all that play because of his personality. You know, he gets that. But what non-Spurs player would you say is probably the ultimate textbook of sexy? And I'll throw this one out there because he's one of my favorite non-Spurs player because he's the architect. But because of that beard, man, he's rocking that beard. Andrea Pirlo. That's a
Man,
that's a
it
smooth
has to be
Italian dude.
David Beckham. David Beckham all the way, man.
Actually, David
Everything
Beckham
about
tried out
David
with
Beckham.
Spurs. David
Yeah.
Beckham. I'll give David Beckham.
David
Yeah.
Beckham, 100%. He's my man crush. I've always said that.
Michael
David
Owen will
Beckham.
be. Michael Owen.
But
will be
technically,
another
he
one.
is ex-Spurs. He is ex-Spurs as well.
He's
So
Spurs.
maybe
Yeah.
he can't be. Yeah, he can't be.
Michael Owen.
David Beckham.
He was a smooth cat.
Mari, I know you're a bloke, but you got some shit taste in men. Honestly,
Yeah.
man. Perlo,
Yeah, he
Perlo
really has.
and
That's why I'm
Owen.
with women. That's why I'm with women. I'll let the girls
Perlo
make the
and
choices.
Owen. So many before that, man.
David Beckham. Yeah. In America, there were women who didn't know what football was, and they were like, "Oh, David Beckham." Like
Yeah, he's an icon.
they would throw panties at him, like David Beckham.
I know it's a horrible feeling, that man. Horrible
For
feeling.
me, non-Spurs, it's Jack Grealish all day.
Really?
All
Jack.
day.
Woo!
Jack Grealish. It's the accent. It's the hair. It's the personality. I think he's a little cunt, but
Yeah.
he's fit.
Yeah. No, Jack. He's
Nah.
he's probably pulling. You know, he's probably pulling. Curse, you said nah.
Saying that no one's gonna agree with man. I would probably go for Kyle Walker.
He's an
Oh, for the
arsehole though.
Spurs.
Yeah, but all that aside, I think he's very lovely on the eye.
Kyle Walker.
Who's
Yeah,
who's
the one
that
who plays for
playing?
Man
Do
City.
you know another one as well? Jorginho.
Mary, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to shoot next. I'm bobbing off, and I've got baby feeds in about an hour and a half, and then I'm up at 6 for the school, like getting myself
Curse.
ready for school. I'm really sorry.
No, thank you, thank you. Definitely gotta take care of the little precious ones, and thank you so much for your input as we.
No, honestly, it's fine. Thank you so much for having me on again. It's always a pleasure. It's been a good laugh.
hmm Oh, it's on the Love Lounge.
Definitely.
Everybody, give Curse a. Where can they find you,
Yeah.
Curse? For those who are new and don't know where to find you.
So you can find me at THFC Cast. So on a Tuesday, I do a stream with Hull Spurs Supporters Committee. They've got official ties with the club. So I do a show with those on my channel. And then you can find me on Wednesdays on Tottenham Away at 8:30, where we have like an all-female panel. So that's just started out tonight. That's going quite well. Or you can just find me on Twitter. You know, I'm happy to hop on streams, or if you want to ever do like a collab or anything like that, yeah, just give me a message. But definitely like, subscribe to everyone on here. Massive big up, Mari, as always, for having me on. But
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
definitely give these 3 a follow. And yeah, just thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Curse. Come on, you Spurs. And like I said, support her. She is blowing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely support her. Subscribe and like her channel. Definitely.
Thanks, guys. Right, I'll see you soon.
Thank you. See
You
you later.
soon.
Later.
All right. So, wow, I'm surprised no one said Kane. Okay, maybe
He's
because
not an attractive man, Mari.
okay,
He's
okay.
he's he's the sort of guy that you could probably imagine dribbles in his sleep.
And what's wrong with that?
Dribbling your
What
sleep.
is
Probably
wrong with that?
dribbles when he's awake, let alone when he's asleep. Let's be honest.
Dribbling your sleep is just not. I guess it's not a virtue, and so.
Listen,
Uh,
every man dribbles in his sleep, love.
No, I mean from the mouth.
All right.
From the mouth. So let's go on to this next question. It's because we're celebrating 139 years. Your most favorite Spurs of all time, and I'll start with Miss Lovely Shan. Who is your favorite Spurs of all time? Spur player of all time.
My favourite Spurs player of all time. Oh, can I give a top 3?
Yeah.
Because I've supported Spurs since like probably 2005.
Okay.
So because I'm only 26, so my 3, I think Michael Dawson, like I said, like he was
Okay.
my favourite when I was growing up. Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
I was gutted when he left. I literally watched Deadline Day all day, like basically crying. And then
Yeah. Same here.
Sonny will go down as one of my favourite ever. I just absolutely adore him. Like, what a bargain. Like, what was he, 22 million?
Yeah.
Like, the guy is just Spurs through and through. He's so important to the club. Like, everything he brings and everything he gives, like the fact that he's come out and said he wants to finish his career at Spurs. Like, he's just everything you could dream of in a Spurs player and more. The guy is just an absolute legend. So, yeah, definitely my 3 would be Michael Dawson, Gareth Bale, and Sonny.
Okay.
Ooh.
Bob, your favorite, and you can give a top 3. Your favorite Spurs player.
Aaron Dub's kind of, but Aaron knows mine. Mine and Dale's are exactly the same. Gaza, number 1, always. The joy he's brought to me as a Spurs fan, and he wasn't there that long. I'll never forget the '91 Cup run to the final. Not going to talk about the final itself, but the joy he brought to me. My first big game ever for Spurs. Well, that was the semi-final at Wembley. And yeah, I saw majority of the FA Cup run live. Went right from Blackpool, Notts County game, the Gaza elbow. Probably means nothing to you guys, but no, he was absolutely brilliant. And then obviously 1990, the year before, for what he did for England in the World Cup, getting to the semi-finals, the Cameroon game, him and Lineker, two Spurs boys, ripped it up. So yeah, for me, without a shadow of a doubt, it's Gaza. Um, Second for me, are we doing top threes or are we just doing top one?
Give the top three. Give the top three.
Second for me is Mabit. Purely and simply, he literally had to inject himself before every game because he had diabetes. He came back from a very, very serious injury as well. When John Fashanu literally removed his eye socket, did his eye socket in. And he was a great defender. 87 cup final, he scored an own goal, and we lost the FA Cup final against Coventry. Then, literally 4 years later, in '91, he was holding up the FA Cup for Spurs. So, absolutely brilliant, legend for me, absolutely legend. And third, man, I'd have to choose someone from the modern era. Dembele.
Ah,
me.
yes.
Oh, good
He's
shout.
For me,
Yeah.
and the reason why, and I'm not bigging myself up here, but I used to be, when I used to play 5-a-side or 11-a-side, I used to be the guy who couldn't get the ball off. I used to skill it out, or used to elbow people out the way, or just move, or just strengthen them out. So I modelled myself on not Dembele, Musa Dembele, and I love the way he played. He stood. I was left-sided of a central midfield. I always play on the left, although I was right-footed, and I just always. And I'm not going to lie. I used to look at him, and I used to play for tournaments in Liverpool every year for my company. And I always used to think, well, what would Musa do now? And I just used to love everything about him, man. He never used to get any assists, hardly got any goals, but he was a game changer. He was a game changer. So for me, Musa Dembele, man, number 3, 100%.
Okay. I will start with the bottom. It's a tie for three. It's of course Musa Dembele. I still think if he had not been sold and played that Champions League game, we could have had a good chance of being Liverpool. So I'm devastated, gutted that we sold him that January transfer window. I have him tied with three with Ledley King. Ledley
man.
King was at his tail end of his career when I started supporting Spurs in 2008. Um, and I met him in person, and like he has a special place in my heart, and I'm even planning on trying to send him a private message and see if he could come on my stream anytime just to do an interview with him and stuff like that. So I really, really, really like Ledley King. Second favorite Spurs player is definitely Gareth Bale. Um, Gareth Bale, I cried. I'm telling you, I cried like a baby. And I remember, I was in Rochdale at the time, and people were like, "Gareth Bale's not gonna stay. He's come to United. He's come to United." And I was just like, "Shut up, shut up!" All these United fans who kept saying, you know, um, he's coming to United, and I was just praying that if he goes out of the Premier League, and so he ended up going to Real Madrid. But I was devastated because I watched games. I'm like, we're still in this game because with Gareth Bale, anything can happen, and he would score those late goals, either as a winning goal or equalizer and stuff. And I just literally that destroyed me when he left. And then number one, I love Kane. I know Irish Hotspur said he's the biggest Kane fan. I love Kane, and I was getting ready for a big divorce with Kane. I'm gonna keep Robbie Keane up there. Uh, I, I mean, I just love Kane. I love the club more, but I just think Harry Kane is the best. I walk up to people like Harry Kane, one of the best players in the world. You can't tell me nothing, and people will just either say, "Oh, he has no trophies whatsoever," but I don't give a damn what they say. I just love Harry Kane. He's like number one on my list. There's some other players. Sonny, I love Sonny. I like Luca. I like Defoe. I'm a big Defoe fan. I like them. Um, I had a special liking to. I know a couple people don't like Albert Bayor, but I like Albert Bayor because, like I said, he was there during my early years as a Spurs fan, and so I liked like him. And then I like Danny Rose. Danny Rose scored one of my favorite goals of all time, that goal against Arsenal, and so yeah. So my top favorite Spurs player is Harry Kane. Let me remove Mr. Keane out of here. Now we have these last two questions, and these are the Bob Spurs question of the week. I don't know if you're ready for this, Shan. All
Go
right.
on.
Okay. So, because we had a couple of bad boys, which Bob said, they're not really bad boys, but everybody else is calling them bad boys. My favorite show on Netflix is Money Heist. So, the question of the week. And if you guys have never seen Money Heist, I know it's the subtitles in Spanish, but watch the show. It's like Ocean's 11, but
Season
better.
5 coming soon.
Yep. And I can't wait for that season in December. So the
Yeah.
question is, in tribute to Netflix show Money Heist and our Argentinians committing a crime, supposedly. If you were to commit a crime of robbery of a bank, which two Spurs players, it can be by personality, would you want to join in that heist? Which two players? Share. Give me the two
So
players.
the first one for me has got to be Eric Lamella because he was just an
Oh,
absolute little shit. Oh, the second
yeah.
one. Mm, I'm gonna go Region because he's small and
Oh.
quick, and I can imagine him being a
Small quick.
nasty little fucker as well. So I'm gonna go Lamella
Oh.
and
Okay.
Region.
Okay. Okay. I like that. And Lamella is he's hardcore to the plan. He would be awesome in the bank robbery, the shithousery, but he'll be serious too. Like, hey, get this money and go. Let's go. Yeah, Reglion's is a surprise, but I can see small people. He can sneak into places.
Mm,
I like that. I like that. Bob, you're two people
Mm.
who were with you in that
Well,
robbery.
for every heist, you need the brains and you need the brawls, don't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'd have Ben Davies because he's one of the most intelligent and most clever and highest IQ people at Spurs. I believe he's always reading the Times and all sorts. So he's obviously can put the plan together on paper, make sure it's risk free, and then for muscle, regardless of what think of him, he'd have to be Ndembele. He's got some power about him. He can break open the bars, open up the safe, and little old me can go in with the bags and take the money away. So
Okay.
yeah, it'd have to be the brains and the brawn for me.
Okay. Well, my choice is I need some brains in this operation, and I am a big fan of someone's creative, someone being the architect. I will have Ericsson as one of my people, and whereas we smartly plot our way to rob that bank, I will have Ericsson as one of my people in this bank robbery. Another
Yes,
person
Ericsson.
in and this was a tough one. I had to do by process elimination. Lamela was one of my people because I'm like, man, this dude is just straight up crazy. He he would be he would be lovely. I also thought about Kyle Walker because I'm like, he'll be efficiently do the job. Um,
Yeah,
and but I was just like, yo, let me get a guy who is a badass and he would do the job. I was thinking Musa Sissoko as coming in, like, yo, be like he would him and Erickson will be two perfect people to be able to get this heist done. We get the money, no emotions, and boom, we'll do the heist. So
It's a good choice.
I have Suzuku and Erickson, one smart person and one person who will run through a brick wall in doing that. Let me see the responses that we got here. We got Aaron. Gamora's better than Money Heist last. Actually, I want to see that show. I actually want to see that show. Thank you, big up Aaron for that suggestion. Heist, Gaz, and Deli. Okay. Mr. K got the Suzuku. He got Aurier. I think Aurier will be a good bank robber. He would be good. Okay. All right. We have to be
Or
Eric
the
Dyer and
Vikings.
Hoiberg. The
The
Vikings.
Vikings.
Eric Dyer and Hoiberg. Hoiberg will be pretty good. Dyer, I just feel like he's gonna fuck it up. I don't know. So I feel like Derek Dyer is going to fuck it up. Like, oh, Eric, come on, man. We got caught. Come on, Eric, man. The only
Yeah,
person
they're about to get away. They're about to get away, and it's like the final minute of getting away, and it gives away a fucking clue or something.
yeah, him and Wicks. I'll be like, Wicks, here's the plan. Do not fuck it up. Here's the plan. Here's the paper. And I'm just like, oh, wait, you're killing me, bro. You and Eric, we'll be arrested in a heartbeat. Aaron says Robbie King because he was a great thief in his youth in Ireland. I can see that. That's true. Top car thief and a boxer. Gaz again because he has the balls. Yep. No, I agree. Bobby Davies would get run down by the cops. He'd get high and get okay. Berbatov, the escape artist. Yes, I actually thought about him because I was thinking about smart, intelligent people out there. I even thought about Vatagen. Vatagen is very smart. People don't know about this. He's very, very intelligent. And Loris, smooth operator. Okay. Roy Keane, Alway. Yeah. Roy Keane. Suzuki will turn up at the wrong bank. well, we got Erickson there. I don't think he would turn on the wrong bank, but I would have Levy and Lewis. Why did they think about that? Levy and Lewis as my bank heist gang. Two of them are the biggest bullets around. And both no money. Oh, yes, that was Levy and Partici proper scheme. But they would never pull off the heist. They'll organize it. Actually, that is true. They would find someone.
Steve Hitchin would be the one pulling off the heist because he just does as Paratici tells him.
That is true.
Another reason why I have Ndembele, he's fucking stealing a living as it is, isn't he? So, let's go.
Oh, all right. So we have the second Bob question. This one is a bit interesting, but it's a doozy. So your daughter tells you she's pregnant, and the father is a Spurs player. Who do you immediately think of, and why? I already have the person. Let's see if Shan actually gets the person. If we're thinking the same wavelength, Shan.
Deli.
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 100%.
It's a good chance. It's a good chance. It would be Deli. Yeah.
And I'm
I think-
representing the Del boy.
Hey, Deli.
Maury, the answer could be Delhi for all of them that I sent you.
Pretty much. It could be Deli.
Yeah.
It could be Deli. Bob, who do you have?
Oh, Delhi, man. These are Delhi questions, so 100%.
Delhi.
There's no other person. Probably Harry Winks, because he's a bit of a nice boy. No one would suspect him, so he thought he'd think he could get away with it. But no,
I had Deli, but I had one more person with him, and I just mentioned him before. Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, Eric
He'd fuck it up at the last minute.
Eric Dyer and Deli are like wingmen, aren't they? You can
Yeah.
just imagine them like.
Every time it's like, I use protection. Just
Well, you know, the thing about Dyer, he likes pulling out a tackle, so maybe he just pulls out. So,
well,
you know.
well, yeah. I mean, there you go. Eric Dyer, but Deli Ali wins the crown. If your daughter tells you she's pregnant and the father is a Spurs player, who do you immediately think of and why? It is Deli Ali. So let's
100%.
look at the responses here. Well, let's go back to the previous question. Um, I would say Levy and Lewis in my bank has two of them. Oh, I already read that. Um,
And that one.
oh yeah, I already read that. Deli, okay. Deli, you bastard. I'll kill you. Oh man, my daughter told me this 2 years ago. Was it Deli, Aaron? I'll tell you who would it be? Winks. It wouldn't be Winks. Okay. Kane's pretty good at hitting the target. Oh,
But he's not as
oh.
smooth as Delhi.
Yeah,
No.
he's not as smooth as Deli. If I'm Danielle Lord's, Danielle Lord's dad, or any of our players, past or present, could generally be the father. Okay.
Oof, 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 oof.
Ooh. Cody back. I'll take Winks because he's boring. Good looking lad. That is true. So I think Deli takes the crown. And my last question before I send you guys off. This one can be a little bit funny, but it can be serious. Oh, let me get this comment. Oh, Bryce, he's laughing. Um, all right. International break is over. We got the three next games. We got Crystal Palace, Chelsea, and Arsenal. And we could even include the who do we play? Do we play Reigns first? Because I just saw that Doku was
Yeah.
injured. Yeah,
We're playing
and
Reigns next
at
Tuesday.
Reigns, right? Yeah, that game is not a cupcake. Reigns, that
No.
building will be rocking. Like they will be looking to beat Tottenham with Doku, well, with or without Doku. That is dangerous trap. You hear it first. I said this a couple weeks ago. That Reigns game, there, that is not a cupcake team to play with. And they were in the Champions League, and they got rid of Cameron Vega, who's a real good young midfielder. Still, they're dangerous. But Shan, what would you like to see, or what you think is going to happen? Will we get the full 9 points and still be on top, or will we get 7, which will still put us on top, unless goal differential? What do you think?
I think I'm gonna be. This is me being optimistic. I reckon we'll probably get 6 out of the 9.
Okay,
Um,
have us at 15. Okay,
yeah,
point.
I think. Obviously Palace. I think we should be winning those games if we want to be where we want to be. Arsenal, we should also be winning those games if we want to be where we want to be.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea is the big danger. I think it depends on obviously Romero and Sanchez being ready to face Chelsea. I think if we can get Romero and Sanchez in, I worry about Lukaku. And Romero handled him really well in last season in Syria.
Yeah.
He was one of him and Chiellini, I believe, are the only defenders not to get turned by him. So yeah, I think if Romero can potentially start or is ready to start, then I'd feel confident in getting a draw against Chelsea. But I'm being slightly negative and thinking we'll get 6 out of 9, which would still be really good.
Yeah, no, but I'll take it. Yeah, especially the situation we are with injuries and stuff. Yeah, I would definitely take it. A couple people said 7 points, draw Chelsea. That's exactly what I'm looking at. I'm hoping for beat Reigns. That's going to be a tough game. Like I said, draw Palace and Goons. Lose to Chelsea. Ooh, 2 points out of the 9.
Points, man.
Wow, Aaron. Okay, our record at the Emirates, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, but Arsenal's so bad. Surely this year we beat them. Hopefully, I predict 1-0, 1-0. Palace 1-1. Chelsea 4. Ooh, we get whoop. We beat Arsenal 2-1. Reigns 1-1. That could definitely happen. I'll go to Bob. Bob, what do you see against Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal, and even Reigns?
Well, I'm doing my first ever watch along on We Are Tottenham TV this
Check
Saturday.
it out. Saturday, check it out.
So I will be there in the studio, very studio, I'm doing the fan phoning as well afterwards. So make sure you call in if you can.
Okay.
Palace, we're going to win 2-0.
Okay.
Reigns, we're going to win 2-1.
Okay.
Chelsea will beat 2-1. And Arsenal will beat 3-1.
And everybody's calling you Mr. Negativity. Wow, that is Mr. Positivity. That was better than I would have chosen. Wow.
We're gonna. The first game we're gonna lose this season is gonna be like at home to Burnley or something like that. Proper Spursy. We're not gonna lose against
Our record's
the
quite
bigger
good
teams.
against Burnley. I reckon
Yeah.
if we lose, it'll be to Norwich
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
or
we'll lose against a shit
Newcastle.
team. Oh yeah,
Newcastle.
Newcastle always do us over on the
Yeah.
odd game. But yeah, I think yeah. Cheers, Kate. No, I think we'll do all right at Chelsea against Chelsea at home. It's the Arsenal one I'm more worried about, but the way they've started, I do think we'll start conceding goals though. I'm going to change the Arsenal one to a 3-0 rather than a 3-1.
Oh,
They
Uh,
can't
weapon.
score. They ain't Deli
Ooh.
Ali. They can't score for shit.
no, that's it.
Well, I have us beating Crystal Palace about 2-0. I think Kane scores a brace, an assist by Mr. Gill. I think he gets some time. I mean, he has to. We have no choice. We're thin. We're
Well,
really thin.
Sonny's injury isn't serious.
No,
Oh,
He should be all right to play.
thank you. Okay, all right. Last time I checked, it was just yeah. So I haven't updated. Okay, good. Oh yeah, definitely. That is good news. Um, Crystal Palace. I mean, yeah. So 2-0 Crystal Palace. Chelsea. I would love for us to win, but I'll be happy if we get a draw, and I
Hmm.
think we will get a 1-1 draw. I think our defense will do a good job, but we'll be able to score. I think we'll get a 1-1 draw. I think Arsenal. If there was every year that we need to go in there and open a can of whoop ass, whoop ass. I also have 3-0. 3-0, and that's the game. I know we want him still to be there, but that'll be the game where the fans go in the uproar and like, hey, get rid of that guy Arteta, and I think that's what's going to happen. And then the Reigns, I actually think the Reigns because I'm worried about that game. I want to say tie, but I think it's going to be 1-0 because, like I said, the French league. What people don't understand about the French league because I have all these channels and stuff. Don't ask me why I have all this, how I got all these channels. But some of these places, atmospheres, bring a lot of emotions to the team. It's like the 12th man on the field. And that field reigns. They've given PSG hell, like they've given teams hell when they play there. That's a raucous crowd, and so we better have that selection right for that game. And so I'll say that we win that game 2-1, but I would not be shocked if we pull up a tie. Playing Reigns at home, those tough will win it, but I think going to, you know, small little French club, rabid, raucous crowd. I think that's gonna be. I think that might be the toughest game out of them. Let's include Chelsea because Chelsea's at home. Chelsea's at home. I think Reigns will be our toughest game because of just the environment and that team. They kind of know what to do. They're gonna ask us to have possession. They're going to counterattack, and if it's and though Doku was there, would be a little bit more dangerous. But they still got some good players on that team. So that's not a cupcake. Or I said Europa Conference League game. So
Hmm.
so yeah, um, couple of the couple of the statements. 6 points. Can't see us getting anything against Chelsea, very sadly. 9 points in Nuno we trust. He's Magic Nuno. I hope you're right, Mr. K. Being conservative here, I'm going with 7. We'll tie. I think Chelsea will tear us apart. Um, you know what? I thought about that in the preseason game. I actually think I actually think they won't tear us apart because I think our defense is good. Scoring goals is the where I have a question. But I don't really think they will tear us apart. So yeah. Um, we're almost close to ending. Read this. Bob Spur negativity. Aaron, I guess I win the negativity
So
award.
negative, Aaron.
Aaron's,
Piss
can't
off,
believe
man.
it. I'm dreading that one, particularly. I have now cycled 60 miles to get there. Thank you, Bartoluz 73. He is very new to our channel. Big up to Born to Lose 73. Thank you for the support. I just want to thank you. Cody says, I think Nuno makes us difficult to beat against better sides. I agree. As I was saying, we're going to be a pain in the ass, especially against the good teams. But yes, we'll probably beat us Chelsea and stuff.
Who's
Um,
Chelsea, Cody? I've not seen a Chelsea in the chat. Who's he calling Chelsea? Sorry, sorry.
Aaron says, I hope you're riding a disc brake system, not rim brakes. Cody Mack says, great show, guys. Gonna have to tune out for the last hour or so. Have fun. Aaron says, ha 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 ha. We might get super aggressive against Chelsea. I predict a super tight, full of VAR 1-0 win for us. I hope you're right. It's almost Halloween. Pumpkins are sell everywhere now. Our defense is crap. Our I wouldn't say that. Uh, our MF fairly useless.
That's
Chelsea
the
will bust.
spirit, Mister. That's the spirit,
Chelsea
Scott.
will boss that game, finish their chances, unlike City did. I actually, well, did you see Timo Werner, Scott? He missed point blank for Germany today. Um, I think we'll pull up a tie against Chelsea. I really think we'll play tough against this Chelsea. So thank you guys for the support. Subscribe and like. The guys who are watching, please spread the word about the Love Lounge. Please spread the word. And we are so excited about the Love Lounge. We're excited that the games are coming back. Got some interesting topics for next week and some guests were coming in. Got a couple people I'm recruiting. And so thank you, Born to Lose. Big up, great show, top guests, proper Spurs in chat. Yep. Spread the word about our show. And so I just want to just give you thanks for support. We have Bob and Shan here. Shan does an awesome job. You guys have seen it. Please support her. Shan, where can people find you?
So yeah, you can find me over at the Cheese Room podcast. I think on YouTube it's Cheese Room. I think no, YouTube it's the Cheese Room podcast, and on socials it's Cheese Room Spurs. Obviously my Twitter is Cheese Room Shan, which is pretty original. But yeah, obviously Mondays and Fridays we have our previews and reviews, and then the guys do pods in between as well. So occasionally we do a show after the European games. But yeah, no, that's where you can. Oh my god, it's because I've had a couple of glasses of gin. I'm like, I'm mumming. Yeah, you can see me over the Cheese Room, and obviously we're hoping to start doing a bit of extra stuff as well. So watch
Okay.
the space.
Yeah, no, you definitely need to. I know you hosted one of the shows the other day. You did the great quiz show, which was really good in comparison to Caller. He should not be doing the quizzes. You should be doing the quizzes. Love you, Caller. And I think everybody was agreeing. You're the quiz. The wine's getting to me. Quiz queen. But definitely, I see some extra shows that you're doing. Please let us know so we can support you. What we love about Shan is that, and I know they mentioned it earlier, but it doesn't matter who you are, what color, what gender and stuff. when you know Spurs, when you know football, and Shan knows her football. So you better come correct, or she's gonna hit you with the hammer. Meaning, because she drives her point well. So check her out. Another person we have here, Bob. Where can you find him? Bob has been a mentor, an inspiration. This guy is like the Godfather. A lot of these channels are up. Bob's like, I'll give you a blessing, whatever you need. I'll give it to you. I'm the real Don here. Bob, where can people find you?
I'll do Bob Spur TV. I'm bringing back In the Wall this Saturday night after doing my watch along with We Are Tottenham TV during the day, and then
And
obviously
that's your
doing my
first
day
game
after the
day
day before.
in the
That is
wall.
my first ever watch along. No, I'll bring. I didn't do watch along last week, obviously because of internationals. So my
But it's
In
the
the Wall
first
show is back.
game day
Yeah.
on the wall because it's always been on Sunday, our games. So
No.
it's
In
actually
the
been
Wall
Saturday.
has always been a Saturday night. Yeah.
Saturday,
In the
so this will
Wall.
be
Yeah,
after
Saturday
the
night.
game.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll be. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that will be my first In the Wall of Spurs game day. You're right. Sorry, man. Fucking
yeah,
hell.
yeah.
You know my program's better than me. So yeah, finally I'll be doing In the Wall show. Actually, be able to speak about Spurs rather than previewing it. And then obviously I'll be doing the day after the day before show, which will be a Sunday for a change instead of a Monday. And
Yeah.
that's a day after the game before. So yeah, it's all good. And like I say, looking forward to my first watch along on Saturday with We Are Tottenham TV. Hope people come along.
All right, guys. Well, it's time to go. It's time for me to put some food in my stomach. I've about drunk half of this, so it's good to go. Let's beat Crystal Palace and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Come on.